Brad Pitt's next movie will reportedly be one of the most expensive ever made. Brad Pitt's Formula One movie has a budget of over $300 million, making it one of the most expensive ever. Production delays due to the SAG-AFTRA strike and real actors in race cars have caused costs to soar. The film faces challenges due to its high budget, with no release date or distributor confirmed. Ooh, let's have a look at the Formula One state of things in the US. I keep a bit of an eye on this because there were narratives going around like last year that were like, Formula One viewership is in decline, basically from the Max Verstappen haters. You know, Formula One's got to do something because people are turning off in droves. The Miami Grand Prix achieved a remarkable feat by breaking the US Formula One TV viewership record last Sunday. The race garnered an average of 3.1 million viewers on ABC, surpassing the previous record of 2.6 million viewers set by the Miami Grand Prix 2 years ago in 2022. This is the stuff that catches my eye because I'm like, oh boy, bring it on, you howdy. Are we making gains in the US, but are we losing in the rest of the world? It's always hard to get numbers about how we're doing in the rest of the world for viewership. It seems, though, like more people are going to the races than ever before. That's something that we can kind of measure. Sure, we've got a bit of a honeymoon period post-COVID on, as everything opens back up, people are flooding to the races. That's terrific. What gauges have we got for the health of the sport? You'd have to argue that at the moment, the health of the sport's not too bad. But it's things like this that we can look to, How many people were watching the races? Well, more than ever before. I also read in another article that even people were, they broke record numbers for viewerships of the sprint races. And it was like 1 million people were watching that. Now, I mean, even casual fans know that sprint races are crap and no one wants to watch them. They're garbage, but it's still rating and the ratings are still going up. Always love to see that. Even more than that, look at this. From some website called DMarge, which I don't whatever that is. Eye-watering revenue from the F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix will blow your mind. Clark County, Nevada has released a report detailing the staggering economic impact of the inaugural Las Vegas Grand Prix, with the first Formula One race held on the iconic strip in more than 40 years, bringing in more than $1.5 billion in revenue for the city. According to the report, the Las Vegas Grand Prix generated more than $1.5 billion, which is 2.3 billion AUD if you're in Australia. If you're not, then who cares? Including $884 million spent by the hundreds of thousands of Grand Prix visitors. Now this says that does not even include the increased price of the race day ticket. Now it was the first race, so when they say the increased price, I'm not sure what that means, but you might remember everyone was complaining about how damn expensive the tickets were. They had a pool of affordable tickets that went straight away, and it seemed like they were using that to suck people in. Come, it's only a few $100s. And then when people went to buy the tickets, they were like, but all the ones that are a few $100s are gone, and all that's left is like $3,000 tickets. And they're like, whoopsie. But still, this says all this money was raised, and that's excluding tickets, which is like, okay. Other good things for Las Vegas. Elsewhere, Formula One spent $88 million on improvements in public infrastructure to accommodate a sporting event of this magnitude, and the direct economic impact, not including the money spent on acquiring the disused land in the first place, totaled $329 million. Finally, local workers were paid $52 million in the first full year, with the Las Vegas Grand Prix supporting more than 7,300 jobs in the local area, including 2,200 for race-related infrastructure, 5,100 jobs, when including event operations and wider visitor spending. That all sounds pretty bloody good. So again, I just look for these little signs of how is Formula One doing stateside. You'd have to say all signs are pointing to things being pretty good. And it had better be, and I'll tell you why. I've covered this story a couple of times, and the first time I covered this story, it blew up to be the most popular video that we've posted so far, but it was about Lewis Hamilton's movie that he's making with Brad Pitt. They're both producing it. Here's an update on how that movie is going and how it's important. Again, remember I said it was important? It's very important. It's very much this.
Wow, I guess this is a big moment. I should care about it.
We hope so. That Formula One does well in the US because look at this. This is from Screen Rant. Brad Pitt's next movie will reportedly be one of the most expensive ever made. Brad Pitt's Formula One movie has a budget of over $300 million, making it one of the most expensive ever. Production delays due to the SAG-AFTRA strike and real actors in race cars have caused costs to soar. The film faces challenges due to its high budget, with no release date or distributor confirmed. Ooh. If you saw recently, Lewis Hamilton was on the Hot Ones podcast video stream live thing, whatever that's called, Hot Ones. And they asked him about the movie, and he said one of the cool things about it is that it's like the speed is real. Like normally they'll shoot the cars and speed up the footage. He's like, in this one, we're not going to do that. In this one, it's real. What does that mean? Well, let's see. The movie started production in July 2023, just days before the 118-day SAG-AFTRA strike started, which significantly delayed production. It did to a degree, but remember they got exemption to keep doing stuff, so they did some stuff. But sure, it must have caused some issues. Another reason why the Formula One film is so expensive is because, similar to Top Gun Maverick, the movie put real actors in real race cars. This includes Pitt, who drove a modified Formula 2 car with an added Formula 1 aerodynamic package during the British Grand Prix weekend. Though not in an official Formula 1 race, putting real actors in real cars requires an extensive amount of training and enhanced safety protocols, which are necessary but naturally increase costs. But this is where it really starts to get interesting. A typical break-even point on a film equals to 2.5 times a film's budget, with the box office take-home on the higher end, 2.5 to 3 times the budget needed to make money. So with the $300 million budget, the Formula One film will have a tough road ahead to become profitable. The film will need to make at least $600 million, but more likely $750 to $900 million just to break even and come close to anything resembling a profit. Grossing $1 billion is extremely rare in the film industry. Only 54 films have ever made that achievement. Brad's movie would not only have to succeed at the box office to break even, he would have to be in the top 75 highest grossing films of all time in order to turn a significant profit. Though Pitt is an A-list actor, box office history would suggest that he alone is not enough to bring a movie to the level of success that this budget would require. Pitt's highest grossing movie was the 2003 zombie film World War Z. Do you remember that? Because I do not. Ranking 218th all time, World War Z brought in $540 million at the worldwide box office. So that's his most profitable film. And they're like, it needs to do basically double that. Oh dear. Now, they do throw it a bone here. One saving grace for the Formula One movie could be its director, Kaczynski, I forget his first name, the guy who directed Top Gun Maverick. He is also the director of this movie. And like that movie, they similarly used practical stunts, though with planes instead of race cars, and that was a major draw. Though it benefited from being a long-awaited sequel, Maverick ended up taking home over $1.4 billion worldwide to become the 12th highest-grossing film of all time. Perhaps Kaczynski can manage to harness some of his good fortune with Top Gun Maverick in order to save Formula One from financial disaster. I'm saying Formula One there, that's because that's what they're saying, but what they mean is the Formula One film. That's a bit heavy. I want that film to be good. I want it to do well. But it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a problemo, that it's not going to make enough money. I read another article about that said, you don't even have to worry because Apple TV are involved with that production. And they, especially in recent years, especially if you think about them funding like that Martin Scorsese film, what's it called? Hearts from the Wild River, River Moon Man, something like that. They threw hundreds of millions of dollars at it and they were always going to lose money, but it was a prestige thing for them, a prestige play for them. So they're like, look, don't even worry. Apple TV are involved. They're not going to get annoyed at Brad Pitt if they don't make enough money, right? Like they're too busy being like, oh, let's make the corn, make it thinner. You know, being all Apple. They're not going to be like, Brad Pitt, you know, he lost $1 billion. They're like, whatever. We've got plenty of other $1 billion. Are you going to go see the Formula One film when it comes out? Maybe buy a whole row when you go to help them out.